Canto 4, Chapter 27, entitled Attack by Chandravega on the City of King Puranjana. Text. Which one? 17? Well, some sound, I guess that's true. No? 17. No, that's what's here. We were talking about Gandharvas, no? Time factor. Yeah, it's 17. It's 365 days and that many nights, no? Protecting, these were the soldiers of the fortress, which is analogous to the body. Okay, so 17 this will discuss Kshiman. is simply minor detail. Meditation, however, is simply a farce for those who have enjoyed life in sense gratification. As described in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, meditation, dhyana, dharana, is a difficult subject matter that one has to learn from his very youth. To meditate, one must restrain himself from all kinds of sense gratification. Unfortunately, meditation has now become a fashion for those who are overly addicted to sensual things. Such meditation is defeated by the struggle for existence. Sometimes such meditative processes pass for transcendental meditation. King Puranjana, the living entity, being thus victimized by the hard struggle for existence, took to transcendental meditation with his friends and relatives. Om Jnana Dasya Jnana Shalakaya Chakshun Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Okay, Sri Chaitanya Mano Vishtan Sakatanya Bhutale Swami Upakaramaya Dadati Swaparantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Kamalam Shri Rupam Sarvajatam Sagana Raghutangitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Bhajana Saitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Shakanvitam Shri Krishna Karna Sindhudam Bandhu Jagatpate Gopasha Gopika Kantara Kantanama Sute Tapta Kanchana Gorangira Devindavana Shri Vishavana Sute Devi Karnami Haripriya Panchakalpatara Vyasha Kripa Sindhu Deva Chapatitana Bhavane Vishnu Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Tagadada Shri Sri Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare. So this is the description of everyone's, well, it's not fag end of life, but it's pretty close. It's a description of the last attempts to reside within one's body. It's almost kind of, it's the last moments that one may survive within one's body. Survive, of course, there's no question of survival for living being, which is eternal. But to survive in that particular body or attempting to still be connected to that body, that's what the attempt is about. And that is brought about by the old age. Old age is the sign. Old age is the sign. It's a very good sign because it reminds us, at least it should warn us, that this moment is coming. It's very unfortunate, just like a few weeks ago I was in Chhattisgarh and suddenly one boy had some difficulties. He had some mental anxieties and he felt a lot of pain in his chest. But he just entered the college first year. And there were some different difficulties that he was experiencing. And then suddenly he felt so much pain and so much distress. And he started vomiting blood and so many things. And then they rushed him into hospital and he died in the hospital. Very quickly, you know. So then everybody was distressed and grieved and so many things that followed. It can happen to anyone at any time, any moment. We don't know. We don't have to wait for the old age that we get a sign that we will leave the body. Any moment we can leave this body. But that's what we never that's what we never believe. That's what we will never accept that. We just yes, maybe, okay, but really, factually, we just don't subscribe to it. We don't accept it. We still think, ahani bhutani gachanti haya malaya. Like the most wonderful thing in the world, that Yudhishthira responded to the question of the yaksha, what it is that we see so many people leaving their bodies, but we still consider that we will live forever. We will not live forever. We will also be pulled out of this body. Or if we will not be pulled, then we will be forced to exit. Like we will hear in this story of King Puranjana, the body is going to end, it's going to become burned. It's like the city is burned. And somebody takes the city and then they burn the city down. So the city will become burned to ashes. So that fever, the fire of the body or within the body will force the soul to exit the body. So that's inevitable. So we may die very soon, sometimes when we are even young, sometimes even children there, but they die. It happens so often also. It's unpredictable. How do we know what is our lifespan? Of course, we can know that if we maybe calculate some Jyotish, if we know the time or whatever, have some expert person there. But it may happen, and it does happen. But for some of those who are, let's say, a little bit more fortunate, then some sign is given like this: old age, getting old, the hair is getting white, skin is becoming wrinkled, feeling some difficulties, feeling some weakness, feeling some this, feeling some that. It's a sign. Body's not going to last too long after that. And maybe I can say for sure that now you can't absolutely relate to that. You just can't. Because you're not in that position. You won't understand, I won't say anything, but pretty much you won't understand what is the position of the old age. Unless sometimes you may maybe get sick, and get some disease and become weakened, no? And placed in it. So it's like that. Old age means disease, a lot of diseases. So when you feel disease, how do you feel? When you're diseased, see? How do you How do you feel? It's not nice feeling, no? It's so much suffering. It's horrible, no? So much trouble. So that's a sign. Watch out now. It's not much time left. But we have to be cautious. We have to prepare ourselves. That's what any intelligent person would do. That's the Vedic process. After 50, you take sannyas. Yeah? Renounce the entanglements of material life and try to focus on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But why waiting for 50? Why would one wait? You might even not reach up to 50. Maybe it might not even reach any close to that. Maybe way sooner one may leave the body. So for that reason, Prahlad Maharaj, he said, Ado. Ado means from the beginning of life, one should practice spiritual life. From the beginning. What means actually beginning? Beginning also doesn't mean like 5 years when he started instructing his schoolmates. Beginning means even from the point of the womb, being in the womb. How did Prahlad Maharaj learn the teachings from Narada Muni? By hearing. He was in the womb of his mother. Narada Muni came to instruct his mother, but he didn't instruct his mother, he was actually instructing Prahlad Maharaj. And sometimes she would fall asleep, but he would still continue instructing Prahlad Maharaj. And that's how he learned about bhakti, about devotional service, about so many things. So that's the beginning. That's the beginning. Hearing at that point of time. Just like today, one devotee told me that his sister, there is some ceremony when the child will be born, but it's not going to be born, now it's kind of in 7th month or so. And there is some ceremony, I forget how he termed it. Give some name of that ceremony. So then all the relatives will gather and do, I don't know what they do. But nothing spiritual much. Nothing at all practical. So he was saying that last time, some weeks ago, he brought Krishna book and requested his sister to read Krishna book. But she said, no, I'm not going to read it, you take it back. I said if she would have read, she would have been benefiting that child, because the child would be hearing spiritual narrations, be benefiting from hearing spiritual narrations. And we have a description in Srimad Bhagavatam that from the 7th month, the child is fully conscious. So that means for next 2-3 months, child is fully conscious and experiences all the pains and difficulties being, clustered in that, confined space, and whatever, mother eats or feels, or whatever. The child also feels the same. So if the child hears some recitation from Bhagavad Gita or Shastra or something like this, immediately starts absorbing that content. And of course experiments have been done with the children playing some different music in the West. I know that there was some experiment that they were playing, and then they played that music, and then children would respond after they were born. Yeah, it's very interesting. They play some other things that children wouldn't respond. So that's a little practical, let's say, scientific proof how yes, children are conscious and they remember and later respond to certain stimuli, whatever they were hearing earlier when they were in the womb of their mothers. So like this, one has to start spiritual life from the beginning. It's not like sometimes in the future. Sometimes, where is that sometime? When that sometime will come? Even when people get old, they still keep on postponing, no? After, not yet. I still have so many desires, I still have so many things to do. I still have so many things to accomplish. So when did that time will come? There's nothing like some particular time. It's right now. The time means right now. If you already missed whatever time and whatever years you have missed, then you start right now. Don't waste it. Because you just don't know when this attack of all these soldiers will happen. What are the soldiers? We already said the soldiers are time, day and night. They're attacking. They're constantly bombarding, creating holes within the city, undermining the city, trying to, breach over or take over the defensive lines or the walls of the city. And we are constantly under that attack. And we don't realize. Now when you're young, yes, then it's still, city is holding to some extent. Holding maybe at least externally. What about internally? What is the state of your veins, cholesterol? What is the state of your heart? You may get heart attack in younger people. What about cancer? What about some cancerogenic cells maybe? What about, like we read that article just recently came up that in last few years the cancer cases, including young people, have tripled in last few decades. What is this going on? Yes, it's going on. Unhealthy lifestyle. Unhealthy lifestyle. That includes, exposure to internet, exposure to so many other things. Living late nights instead of sleeping. Doing so many, eating irregularly, eating so many horrible things. Just for you who didn't know, I'm just talking, I'm just reminding everybody. But I just got one graph of statistics that only 30% of people in India are still only vegetarian. There was like, wow, India was known practically for being only vegetarian country in the world, so to say. Maybe Nepal, but to some extent, whatever. So, but 30% only, that means less than 50. That's like, where is that going? It's a disaster. It's a disaster. Of course, you may say now some people in other places are becoming vegetarian to some extent, but still, it's a disaster. Where is this culture? Where is the consciousness? Where is all this going? And how much karma this is? Heavy, heavy, heavy reactions. How will that unfold? It's up to be seen. It's terrible. So our defensive lines against time, against disease, against reactions, it's very weak, very weak. Any little stronger attack and you'll be finished. You won't be able to defend yourself. Yeah, the lines will crumble, the walls will crumble. Once enemy is in, it's very difficult to get him out. So this is what is going on. So we should not waste the time. We should not think, yes, I have time. No, you don't have time. Because you don't know any moment what may happen. Do you plan to get diseased? No, when the disease strikes, it's just like that. I remember just like this, yeah, running nose or something. It just happens, no? You start sneezing, it's over. Just like that. I said, what happened? You know, it's so, I felt so good in the morning and afternoon, it just happens. There's nothing you can do. Then you have to, oh no, you know, the diet and this and that. So much suffering, you know. So much weakness, so much this, so much that. There's nothing much you can do. Of course, you try so many things, try to get better, but you have to invest so much more time, so much more energy. Okay, hopefully one may get better, but sometimes it happens you don't get better, and then what? And then what? And remember one case, sometimes some internal organs fail or this and that. It happened, one boy here, he was early 20s or something, the liver failed. Rushed him in the hospital, a few days he was alive, and that's it. Horrible. So many things may happen. Any moment it may happen, and it does happen. So we should not be in that illusion, yes, we have time. And another illusion is that we just invest everything in, yes, I will fortify this city, I will fortify this body so that nothing can attack, nothing will happen. That's another waste of time. This is incredible. It's incredible. How people, you know, I will take these vitamins and I will exercise like this and like that, and then that's another extreme. Many times they go into another, or I will eat, you know, it's so funny. I will eat certain food which will really boost my immune system and make me healthy, wealthy, and whatever nonsense you can say. I was like, you know, I will eat certain, you know, this food or this vegetable or this and this and this have so many this and that, and this will help me, you know, to be very agile and active and healthy, and you know, there's no safe proof, and you just become, you know, so conscious of that you never become Krishna conscious. You become so conscious of the body that you forget about the soul. Like there was one man, he heard, of course, that it's very bad to eat salt. So there is something to it. There's something to eating salt that affects the body. So salt is not so good. Yeah. Of course, we need some salt. We need some minerals and stuff, but they say if you don't eat salt, that you'll be more healthier. As some theories, whatever. Anyway, I'm not going to get into it. So, but in his case, basically, he avoided salt. And he was living quite long, and he was very active and this and that. And then suddenly went for a vacation, you know, to some ocean. And he was just in like a little bit, you know, like maybe till the knees or something in the water, and some wave comes, you know, waves are coming, some wave came and just splashed him a little bit, and he fell down. And when he fell down, he gargled the water, which was salty water. And as soon as little salty water entered into his system, he was dead. He was dead. Because the body couldn't, you know, it was just such a shock for a body, you know. His body couldn't handle it. He died. But so, see, that's the irony of the life. You're kind of so healthy and this and that and avoiding, and then suddenly something happens you have no control over, and then it's over. That's it. So you will find sometimes people that become so unhealthy, because really it becomes such an extreme, and then they forget there's so many other extremes, because if you get into any extreme, you're creating disbalance somewhere else. Or you're neglecting something else. You can't cover, I mean, you really can't cover all the, let's say, directions of that attack. You can't really cover up, you can't really fortify things in such a way, you can't really make foolproof way or system that you don't leave this body. It's impossible. It's impossible. So it's just such a, that then brings you into certain other anxiety or difficulty. Then how do you become healthy? How do you do this? How do you do that? It doesn't work. So one should not be obsessed with such kind of healthy lifestyle. But where is the healthy lifestyle? I mean, the water we drink is horrible. The air you breathe is horrible. The pesticides that you get in any food, it's horrible. I mean, the food itself, it's so genetically modified, this and that, or who knows what is it. I mean, how do you live a healthy lifestyle, first of all? I mean, it's almost impossible. Unless you grow your own stuff, but even that, you might be affected to some other neighbor, this and that, or whatever. Because as I said, if nothing else, water or air or something, So it's so difficult. So anybody wanting to be so self-conscious that they may live 1,000 years, it's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And in that process, as I said, you neglect the soul, you neglect Krishna, you neglect spiritual life. What is the use? What is the use? Whatever time it's destined to be given to you, that's the time that you will have. So better to be Krishna conscious right now. And then, of course, yes, you want to take care of body, no problem. Nobody is denying that. Body has to be taken care of, but moderately, not becoming obsessed like this and, getting, as I said, into extremes. Moderately, to keep the body together so that soul can perform some devotional service through body as a medium. That's fine. But not overly, not being obsessed. Because, see now, what we are having here in this verse, it says that life air facing that onslaught of time, all these soldiers that were attacking, it was weakening. It wasn't able to handle. So then suddenly, we get some signs of difficulty, and then you can't manage. I don't know. Sometimes it's like you really feel like giving up. Did you ever hold something and your muscles couldn't, bear it anymore? You like try to hold something and then you can't hold it anymore. You feel so much pain. You have to let down. Or sometimes you're holding on something, you're hanging or something like this, and you can't do it anymore. Just muscles wouldn't cooperate anymore. It becomes difficult. You just have to let loose. You just can't handle it. So like this, the time comes when you feel, yes, the life it's almost about to pass away from this body or something, and then you start thinking, okay, maybe now I can think of Dharma. Maybe now I can become religious. Maybe now I can do something spiritual. But then it's too late. It's too late. This is what Srila Prabhupada is explaining in the end of the purport. He said meditation. What is meditation? People think religion and piety come at the end of life, so that they can relax in that meditation, and then that's the point. End of life, then you will be meditative, and what is that nonsense? Some kind of fashion, meditation is fashion. But it said such meditation is defeated by the struggle for existence. And it's not that meditation will bring you sense gratification, because your body is weakened now, so you will do yoga or meditation, and then you will make the body stronger so you can enjoy again, material things. That's not the purpose of meditation. That's imitation. So when one is victimized by the hard struggle for existence, just like now King Puranjana, Then he took to transcendental meditation with his friends and relatives. When he really was cornered up, like a corner, he had nowhere to go, then yes, okay, I'll practice something, I'll do something. There's no other option, so to say. But what is the use of that? So end of life, it's coming. You cannot stop it. Cannot stop it, and this so-called process, then practicing that process will not help you. Because it's not, again, what is the point? Another point here, it's not sincere. It's not sincere. You're trying to save the body, but you cannot save the body. Body will break down. Body is destined to break down. Body, it's already dead matter. It's just, again, matter of time when it will collapse. Something within it. So that you cannot help. What you can help now, then one can work on his self as the spirit soul. Just like we know, what is the definition of karma? Karma means whatever activity you do in this life that creates your next body. That's it. So this body, it's already fixed. Duration of life, it's already fixed. The durability of the body, it's already fixed. There's nothing you can change and do about it. Now, it will be affected in a certain way. So whatever input of time and energy you want to give and can give, that means you're giving it for the next life, not for this life. So that's why it's better, and it's advised that better use that, do it for spiritual purpose. Because then that it's never lost. That's eternal. That's eternal credit that one receives. It's not temporary, just for this body or the next body. No. It's eternal. So the only thing that we can change and affect is practicing spiritual life. Getting spiritual credit. So that's why one's struggle like this, struggling, I said, Prabhupada said, the living entity resides within the body and struggles for existence with the limbs of the body, which are referred here to as citizens and friends. So one can struggle alone with many soldiers for some time, but not for all time. Not for all time. So we may try to keep on enjoying this material world. What means enjoyment? Enjoyment means it's like you're using anything, it's wearing out. No? Attrition. It's a constant attrition going on, or constant, wearing out, whatever, atrophy is happening. No? Cells are being replaced, or you take, like that example, you take a copy, photocopy, Xerox copy, whatever you want to call it. Every time you take another copy, it's becoming pale, weaker, lesser, visible. No? That's how it is. So the cells being replaced by another one or something, it just becomes lesser. So that's how body gets old. That replication becomes weaker and lesser, and there's nothing one can do about it. At least so far, nobody figured it out. And it's extremely doubtful whether ever that would be the case. They've been trying for 8 billion 400 something million years. That's just within one day of Brahma. That's so many cycles of yuga have passed. Nobody still figured it out how to do that. What to speak of beginning of the universe? That's like half a day of Brahma. So that's whole lifetime. It's 311 trillion. So half of that anyway. So far nobody had figured it out. So that's right. Hard fight with the soldiers of time, and eventually, who's gonna win? There's a saying: time and tide wait for no one. Time's gonna win. We're not going to win. You may be still hoping well till the age of 30. That's what they say. After 30, you're down the hill. Everything goes down the hill. Then maybe you start realizing, things are not really, it's like the way I thought it will always go up, and it's like, no way. It's not going to happen. So that's why we have to be intelligent, use the time, use the energy, and not just depending for the last moment You know, we had some, you know, you have a, like this, it said five serpent, you know, the serpent, five hooves, which represents the five airs within the body. You know? So that became weak, and then everybody became alarmed. Oh, what to do now, what to do now? You know, like sometimes people become so ill or old or something that they're about to die, and then, oh, now panic, what to do, what to do. Well, at that time there's nothing much you can do. Maybe one may survive or one may not survive. But it's an alarm. But one should raise alarm right now. One should understand, I'm in such position that any moment anything may happen, and definitely this last moment will also happen. Like Prabhupada was on the deathbed, and all the Sila surrounded by all young disciples. They were all like maximum 30s or something, you know. And Srila Prabhupada said, don't think that this will not happen to you. As I said, it's difficult now. Yes, we're all young kids practically now. I think, what is old age? What are we talking about? It's difficult to really. Disease or a disease. But don't think it will not happen to you. At least using one's intelligence, one should understand that it will happen, but then when it happens, at least we should know what to do. No? Or at least, even if it happens, we should even be cultivating Krishna consciousness, as we should be cultivating it still right now, and that we should be ready to cultivate it even in that state, whatever that state is. Of course, might be more difficult, but still, one should, under any circumstances, should never forget Krishna. So that's the whole point. Whatever one condition in life is, one should always try to be Krishna conscious. And not wait for the last moment and then, yes, last moment, now we will be Krishna conscious. That's a joke. You know, whatever you do throughout the life, this is what you're going to be remembering at the moment of death. So if one is performing all kinds of nonsensical activities and sinful activities, and then one hopes, yes, I will remember Krishna at the end of life. No, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Just like whatever you do throughout the day, you might dream at night. It's a strong impression. If you're practicing spiritual life, yes, then you will remember Krishna at the time. Because the whole life is a preparation for that final moment. Because whatever yam yam vapis maram bhavam chajantante kalevam tandam evati konte sadatat bhava bhavit. Whatever you remember at the time of death, that kind of body you achieve in your next life. So if we don't cultivate that consciousness, there's no question of remembering. There's no question of remembering. So that means we'll have to enter into some other body, according to whatever activities we perform that will force us to remember that at that last moment. So that's why one should not be like this, like King Puranjana. Yes, when now is alarming situation, now we will become meditative. Now this meditation will save us. But this meditation, like it's pointed here, it wasn't aimed at spiritual realization. It was aimed just as, you know, fortifying the body, fortifying defense, hoping that we can still have more enjoyment and we can still retain, you know, this body, repair and retain the body, and we can still be happy and enjoy. But it doesn't work. It didn't work. They became weaker and weaker and weaker, and they couldn't reverse that, you know, downward spiral of body breaking down. They couldn't help it. Yeah? So they became very anxious. So it's not, there is no last moment solution. There's nothing last moment solution. Yeah. We hope for some calamity happens. Okay, last moment, what can we do now? Well, there's many times there's nothing much you can do. It's too late. It's too late. If you didn't think about that earlier, too late. What can be done now? It's too late. We should have thought about it earlier. So we should also think that our body is not going to last forever, and we should do something right now. Be ready for that. Yeah. So that we can still, as I said, be Krishna conscious. We still remember Krishna and then go to Krishna. Now that at last moment we're under panic, what to do now. And of course hoping for retaining our sense gratification, which is even worse. So none of this will help. So that's why this is a very interesting, not just warning, but it's very instructive story that it's brought within such a form of allegory, pointing out how living entity, which means King Puranjana in this case, which we are discussing, is facing this final realization of his life. Yeah? And he's forced. There's nothing he can do. We heard earlier how he was enjoying the life so nicely. Just imagine king having all the opulences and facilities at his disposal. No, he was hunting, he was being very sinful, he was hunting women, he was hunting animals, he was doing so many things. And he thought, yes, life is very great, and he was enjoying in the gardens and this and that, so many things. And now you see the time has come, things have become reversed, and he'll be forced, kicked out of everything of that, that he was enjoying. He'll be bereft anything, and we'll see what will be his destination, even when once he's dragged out of his body. Pretty heavy, but that's an instruction for us. So hopefully we should learn something, and don't waste time, and don't think that you can just really fortify the body by this and that. I see people, sometimes people they're filling themselves with billions of pills, no? Pills for this, pills for that, pill for, it's just sickening. It's really sickening. Pill poppers, they call them, such people, they call them pill poppers. They're eating medicine. They're eating medicine. It's sickening. And they think that, yes, this is how our body will be, immune to everything. What an illusion. What an illusion. Such a heavy bodily consciousness. How can you ever realize your spirit soul? Anyway, of course, there's no Krishna consciousness, so then how would that be possible either, anyway? So that's right. So we should not wait for the last moment to be Krishna conscious, and should start practicing spiritual life right now without wasting that time, because we never know how much we have. Okay, any comments or questions? Yes?
Once you have said that without mercy of spiritual master, you cannot get Krishna.
Okay, without mercy of spiritual master, we cannot get Krishna, so?
So, if I am chanting regularly 16 rounds, so if I don't have a spiritual master, so will I get the...
Okay, you're chanting 16 rounds, and if you don't have spiritual master, will you get Krishna? Well, the instruction is given by the spiritual master to chant 16 rounds. So somebody has told you to chant 16 rounds. That's also in a way your spiritual master. There's Diksha, there is Shiksha. But eventually that chanting will lead towards the process of initiation, towards the process of Diksha. So Diksha means commitment, no? Formal initiation. So that is there. There is never loss of practicing and chanting 16 rounds. Process of cleaning the offenses has started, or sinful reactions. But of course, we have to be careful not to commit further offenses or something. But that's why we need Guru, who will help us, who will guide us on this path. Otherwise, we might be advancing, and we might be also, advancing under the handbrake. That's not a good idea. So we need someone to help us to release that handbrake, no? Tell us how to do that, how to avoid it also. So that's why the process, you have to approach, you have to find out someone whom you will surrender. How can you find it out? By doing a little research, by hearing, finding out where the persons, who are qualified, what is their position, and then seeing, hearing, praying, and one gets inspired by Krishna from within the heart. Maybe I can surrender to that person and I can follow his instructions. So when that is the case, then you're right for initiation and accepting the Guru, or being accepted by him.
But I cannot wear the Tulsi Mala.
You cannot wear the Tulsi Mala. Why?
Just because at my home is when my mother cooked.
What's your age?
17.
17? Okay. Anyway, don't worry. Wait for some time. Keep on chanting. Then we'll see afterwards. Okay?
One more question.
Yeah.
I was reading Krishna book, story book, and I was reading the story of Sudama and Krishna. So in that chapter, I think around 75th chapter, in that chapter, Srila Prabhupada has written that when Krishna was telling Sudamaji, when Sudama met Krishna, then Krishna was telling Sudamaji that the father is the
Okay, maybe we can have that question after the class. Try to recollect what's going on. So anything on the subject that we discussed? Yes?
So, confused between two things, dharma and meditation. I'm chanting
Dharma,
dharma,
karma.
dharma.
Karma and meditation.
Yeah.
What is the
I'm
confusion?
chanting some sort of meditation.
Chanting is a meditation.
So, what
But
about
karma is different. Karma is chanting, it's in the category of akarma. Akarma means no good karma, no bad karma. So it's akarma, it's purely spiritual, transcendental, constitutional activity.
So, what does exactly karma mean?
Karma means following law or instructions of Krishna, but expecting some material result for it.
So, is it doing some physical activity?
No. Any activity, even it can be mental, physical, any kind of activity, that it's not sinful. And you will be getting some positive reactions or rewards for it. That's karma. And there is vikarma, which is whatever you'll be doing, but you're not following, it's not in the line of instructions given in Shastra, then it's sinful. Then you'll get bad reactions for that. And then there is this akarma, which is bhakti or devotional service, with chanting and meditation it's part of. That no good, no bad reaction, but it's just transcendental, fully activity, fully transcendental spiritual activity. Okay? That's explained in 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita. If you have chance, just study a little bit 3rd chapter. These 3 types of action. Okay, anything else? It's 9 o'clock. Okay, then we'll stop. Okay, we can discuss after class. So Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai,